Hello, my dear friends. Nice to see you again. Today, I continue to bring you another extremely interesting story. Are you ready? Let's start exploring this story. Her laughter was something I would never forget. The kind of laugh that once made my heart race back in our younger days. But now, as she walked through the front door after her business trip, it felt different, sharp, almost careless. "Hi, darling," Emma greeted in a light, detached tone, as if her mind was somewhere far away, perhaps at some conference or another. Her laughter echoed briefly as she kicked off her heels and tossed her purse onto the chair by the door. Then, she noticed it. The sound of her laughter stopped abruptly, as though someone had muted it. Her smile faltered, and the color drained from her face as her eyes locked onto the framed photo on the dining table. It was our wedding photo, her in a stunning lace gown, me in my crisp navy suit. We looked like we had everything. But now, there was a new addition. Bold red letters scrawled across the glass that read, "I know." Emma froze, staring at it, and then turned to me with dread-filled eyes. "What is this?" she asked, her voice unsteady. I leaned against the kitchen counter, arms folded. "Emma, why don't you tell me?" She opened her mouth, but no words came out. I could see her mind racing, trying to figure out how much I knew. Finally, she stammered, "Ethan, I don't know what you mean." The confident facade she usually wore began to crack. I let out a bitter laugh, one even I didn't recognize. "Don't insult my intelligence," I snapped. "For months, you've been lying to me. Your sudden late nights at work, the so-called business trips, the newfound excitement for the gym." I pointed to the photo and then picked up my phone. A string of images filled the screen, each one more damning than the last. Emma and her business partner, Daniel, holding hands at a beachside resort, sharing a kiss under a cabana, laughing over drinks at a bar. Her face crumbled as she stammered, "Ethan, I can explain." My anger boiled over. "Explain?" I barked. "Explain how you've been sneaking around with Daniel while I've been working overtime to pay for your yoga retreats and spa days?" My voice rose with every word until I was shouting. "You lied to me, Emma, over and over again. Are you sorry because you were caught, or because you actually feel guilty?" She stepped toward me, hands raised as if a touch could fix everything. "Please, Ethan, just let me explain. It's not what it looks like." I stopped her in her tracks with a raised hand. "Don't. Just don't. For the last 2 months, I've been collecting evidence. Do you want to know why?" She didn't answer, her lips trembling. "Because I needed to be sure I wasn't imagining things. And now that I know the truth, I've made some decisions." Tears streamed down her face, but I felt no pity. "First," I began coolly, "I've already filed for divorce. The papers are with my lawyer. You'll get them tomorrow. I suggest you revisit the prenuptial agreement before you think about fighting it." Her face fell further. The prenuptial agreement was ironclad, designed to protect my family's business. She would leave with only what she brought into the marriage, little more. "You don't have to do this, Ethan," she whispered weakly. I ignored her. "Second," I continued, "I've already told Daniel's wife." She was surprisingly understanding. Emma's eyes widened in horror as I added with a bitter smile, "Oh, and she sent me some pictures of her own. Did you really think no one would catch on?" She broke down completely, sobbing, but I stood firm. "Oh no," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Finally, I reached into a drawer and pulled out a folder, setting it firmly on the table. "This," I said, my tone cold and deliberate, "is everything I've gathered. Texts, images, receipts." I slid it across the table toward her. "If you even think about contesting this divorce, all of it goes straight to your company's HR department. Let's see how they handle 2 of their senior managers engaging in an affair on the company's time and dime." Emma's face went pale. She buried her head in her hands and slumped into a chair. I made a mistake, Ethan. Please, I still love you, she sobbed. I let out a hollow laugh, the sound bitter even to my own ears. Love? You call this love? You don't love me, Emma. You love the life I built for you. The stability, the comfort, the safety. But you didn't respect me. You threw it all away. For what? A fleeting thrill? She wept into her hands, but I felt nothing. If anything, a strange sense of relief washed over me, as though I'd finally set down a burden I hadn't realized I was carrying. There was no anger, no sadness, just emptiness and a newfound clarity. I grabbed my keys and moved toward the door. I'll be staying at a hotel for the next few days, I said flatly. By the end of the week, movers will come to pack your things. You'll need to leave this house. Her tear-streaked face lifted, a mask of desperation. Please, Ethan, don't do this. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. I shook my head. Some things can't be fixed, Emma. I paused at the door, my hand resting on the handle. Oh, and one more thing. I canceled the credit card for that new purse you bought on your business trip. Good luck explaining that. Without waiting for a response, I walked out, her cries echoing faintly behind me. As I drove away, a peculiar mix of emotions churned within me: rage, betrayal, and a hollow sense of loss. But beneath it all, there was something unexpected: liberation. For the first time in years, I felt free. The next morning, I awoke in the quiet solitude of my hotel room to a text from Daniel's wife. Thank you for telling me. I'm leaving him too. We both deserve better. She was right. We did. As I gazed out of the window at the rising sun, I realized something important. The end of my marriage wasn't the end of my life. It was the start of something new, something better. For the first time in months, I felt a flicker of hope. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's story. For more inspiring stories, please subscribe to our channel. Your support is our great motivation. Goodbye and see you again in the next stories.